voice is still not the best after a few weeks of back events. But so if you're here tonight, say hey. I was hoping he's going to have a guest tonight, but I don't know if he's off work and able to jump on yet or not. So we did invite a couple of the winners on, and just, we had a lot of kids won at last event with end of year activities, games, and all the kind of things going on. We couldn't quite get everybody to join us tonight like we do. Oh, hi, Steve. I'm glad you're here. You can text, but you can just can't talk quite that much right now. So you guys are, I see I've got like 8 or 10 people. Hey, let me know that you're joining me tonight. We're really excited with the series for the year. So we're pumped. We had an awesome start to the season, and we're super excited that we have had such a good turnout at these events, good, response to everything, to the kinds of holes, to the different events that we've had. It's just been, excuse me, an absolute blast. And I do just want to say thank you real quick to our sponsors, as always, Super ATV, Specialized ATV, Aura, Off-Road Outlaws, Dirt Shepherd Chemicals, as well as Carolina Custom ATV, Used Power Sports LLC, MSA Off-Road Wheels, Aftermarket Assassins, Peraza Synthetics, Monster Rigging Off-Road, Murray Power Sports, Gator Waders, and VP Racing. They make everything so awesome for us, and we're so thankful to have them on our team and here for support. So just kind of diving right into what I wanted to talk about first was just recapping this event. I did want to do just a quick kind of overview of how the first half of the series went. We started out the year at Iron Mountain in Dahlonega, Georgia, and that was a pretty cool fast holes. We had that back in March. It was pretty neat. Everybody was getting somewhere between in the teens for their runs, maybe up to a minute, but pretty much almost everybody made those holes unless something happened with their machine that broke. So that was pretty neat. And then we had our next event was in April in Jasper, Florida at the Graveyard. And so we did the Bounty Challenge course there, which was pretty neat. That was about 2,000 feet of everything. It was holes, curves, hills. I mean, it was pretty awesome. It was just a variety of style riding. And I've had a lot of racers that have told us that was their favorite thing that they've done with us, and some of them their favorite thing that they've ever done, because it brought a lot more skill and knowledge as far as riding into the competition rather than just, straight line holes. So a lot of people love that. And the Graveyard has already reached out to us about next year. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about if you guys want to see us back down there, whether you were spectating and watching us or whether you participated as a racer. Would love to hear your feedback for that, because we did get a lot of people that talked about how much they enjoyed it. And then our third event of the year was this past weekend at Deep Creek ATV Park in Linden, North Carolina, outside of Fayetteville. And that was kind of neat, because that's how we started the series. We started at Creek Fest back in 2021. That was our very first event ever at Deep Creek ATV Park with Demon Jones. And so that was pretty neat to be able to go back this season and sort of repeat it and do the same thing there. But those holes were pretty nasty, you guys. I mean, I think I've heard a few racers say that they are still cleaning their machines. So let me just show you a couple of these. Let's see if this is going to pop up or not. Here we go. So here's here's none in the small tire NA hole, and you can see that medium, that hump right there in the middle of the hole was just awful. A lot of the racers couldn't quite knock it down. It was just soupy mud, thick. And people talk about how that Deep Creek mud is like concrete when it dries. You can't even tell who that is, but that's Nick. And so, yeah, I just wanted you guys to kind of see, if you missed it, this is what we were working with. Not only were the holes super thick and peanut buttery and just nasty, nobody made it from that very first class that we ran was the small tire NA class, and not a single racer made it through to the end of the hole. So nobody could say that we were we were making fast holes at this event. We try to do a variety of different things. These were definitely a little bit more than I think that we were planning for, but it is a bounty hole, so it certainly put some bikes to the test this weekend.
Thanks, Brian.
And then what we did was in between the small NA and the small open class, we actually knocked down that middle hump. We kind of took a lot of that out with the excavator and knocked it out. Now, that didn't do much to change the fact that the hole was still super thick. I mean, trust me, it was super thick. But it did at least help those racers that couldn't quite get over that middle hump. They were able to then go through it. So here was Seth, Mr. 478. You can talk about it. You can laugh about it. You can say it's not true, but you're talking about it. So Mr. 478 right here coming through. He pulled off an incredible run. I think he ended up with, in the small open class, he ended up with third place with a 7.92 second run right here. So that was pretty cool to see. Photo credit on both of these past photos to Cheyenne Bullard. So thanks again to Cheyenne, also to David Martin, our photographer and videographer, for coming out and catching those for us. So that was pretty neat. And let me just, I did want to do a big thank you to everybody who threw money in for the Little Dirty Kids race. You can see here what our total payouts were for this one single event was $3,541. We're just donated by people in the community, in the riding community, that are excited about these kids that are getting involved and, and just wanting to make it be something awesome for these kids. So thank you to everybody on this list for the Little Dirty Kids Bounty Hole series. Powered by Dirty Stripper Chemicals. I think we had 3301 that went towards the kids race, and then we had 240 that went towards the kids foot race. So even if you weren't riding, you still had a chance to run through for some money. But big shout out to everybody on this list: Dirty Stripper Chemicals, Foster's Land Management and Demo LLC, Jennifer Forster with Fast Tracks Mudbog, Matt Gay Associates. They're the guys that did the mapping on the app. That's only $3.99 for Deep Creek. You can buy that. You go, the app's free, but then you go in and you buy the map for $3.99, and it's fantastic. I'm gonna tell you what, when I had one bar of fuel left on, I think Thursday night, it was pretty nice to have that map to get me right out and not have to worry about it. Larry Sable with SableWell.com, Smut Babies Customs, On Kill Power Sports, Penny's Produce. They had some boys that you'll see in a minute that raced and were able to place on the podium for their very first race. Cash Dixon Racing and Peyton Talby Racing, two guys these are young men that are racing competitively, professionally throughout the country, and they wanted to give back to these to the younger kids. Blazing Trails Performance, Jean's Backhoe Service Incorporated out of Benson, I think is where they're at, and Wethington Car Sales here out of our hometown Ayden. So thank you to everybody that did throw in money for those kids. I don't know if you've seen these kids race, like, you'll understand what I'm talking about, and it's become my favorite part of the whole thing. We do that before anything else. So we do the prayer, the national anthem, then we get right into the kids racing. And at this event we had like 50 kids runs, and they were so excited and also terrified. A lot of them, it was their first race ever. But to see their faces, like when they come up, some of them are nervous, some of them are really just excited. They're just ready to send it, but then after they get through, the confidence that they have and the excitement. And then because we do it first, the crowd is huge. Everybody's cheering for these kids. I mean, it's like their Super Bowl. It's amazing. And they just love it. And their mamas and daddies and grandparents are out there watching, and they're all so proud. And it's just a really, really, really awesome thing to get to be a part of. I love it. And I hope that we can continue to do it for a long time to come. We were lucky that all of those parks that we put the series at this year were super gung-ho about the idea, said, yes, let's absolutely do it. Bring it on. And so it's turning into every event. It grows and grows. And we're just super excited to be able to do that for these kids. So we started the event that way. And then we had all of our King of the Deep runs. And then at the end of the event, hey, Lewis. Hey, Nate. Hi, Simon. I'm sorry. My comments just popped up. I think my internet might be a little wonky tonight. But we ended the event with the last run of the entire day in the unlimited class was Jeremy Hunt with Off-Road Outlaws. He's one of our sponsors. He had done his first run earlier. This was the second run, the very last run of the entire day. And he said, I already got my points. I already got everything I needed with my first run. And he let this little boy, his name is Seth, and it was his 10th birthday on Saturday. And so Jeremy let Seth ride as a passenger with him on his first run through the bounty hole, which was pretty cool because Seth had never gotten to ride through a bounty hole. He was super pumped to be able to do that. And then so then when they went in for the second run, Jeremy said, you know what, Seth, like, you're going to have the best day ever. Happy birthday. I'm going to let you drive. And so Jeremy was the passenger and Seth got to drive. And you can see, I mean, they got stuck as, but as most of the people did in limited hole. But Seth was just so proud. And I mean, look at that. Like, I'm telling you guys, these kids and the memories that we're making with these kids, it's amazing. So let's see. Larry said, I'm going to do 500 for the kids just like last year. Thank you, Larry. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Larry's been a staple every single event for the kids. He has given money, and I always say, like, it doesn't matter whether you guys want to give $20 or whether you want to give, $1,000, whatever you give is going to go back towards the kids. The way that we've done it this year, because we decided to turn it into a point series once all of the parks agreed that we could come, which we weren't sure when we first kind of started talking about it. Once they all did that, we decided to turn it into a point series alongside King of the Deep series for the adults. And so what we do is we reserve 20% of the money that is raised for each event towards the final championship points winners. So every dollar is getting out. And I try not to really, like, if you guys tell me what you want to donate publicly, that's great. But I don't ever want anybody to feel like that they're not donating enough or that what they're putting towards it is insignificant. So I try not to really, like, say, well, this person's doing 200 and this person's doing 20. And if you saw, I told you guys that we gave away 35.41 at this last event. And you know why? Because one little boy came up and gave us $1 to give away. So, like, when I tell you that every dollar is going to the kids, every dollar is going to the kids. Hey, hey there, Mr. Jerry. That's my tennis player. So we're like super just excited about where the kids stuff is going. We had so much participation here at this event. And I think, it was amazing. So we had over 150 runs. Every event has grown. I think we had like around 125, 130 at the first event. We had like 140 something at the second event. We had 150 something at this event. And so it's growing. Every event is just doing better and better. It was an awesome event this weekend. We had such a good time. Thank you to Deep Creek for having us out. Thank you to Kevin for everything he did. Thank you to Demon Jones, Dusty Lee, and Brandon Hart for that awesome performance that they put on Saturday night. All the spectators that hung out with us through that. I mean, the heat was crazy. And then we had 2 like rainstorms that just poured down. First, I went from my eyeballs sweating, my eyelids sweating, to like rain pouring down my eyelids. Like, it was a very long day with those holes the way that they were. But, I didn't hear one racer complain, and the crowd was there. Yeah. And after the rain, especially after that second rain, it did cool down a little bit. And I know why the crowd was there. I mean, they wanted to see all these racers, but they also wanted to see one of those bikes. They wanted to see 24K, and they wanted to see what it would do, because there's been a lot of hype. So we've got some videos up. They also have their YouTube video up, which they sort of, here's this photo credit goes to 336 Mud Mafia on Instagram. I stole it. I'm sorry, Joe. But I did want to talk about your run, because so many people were like hyped up, like super excited about it, wanted to see what the bike could do. I am. Yeah. And so this is the bike, 24K. It's covered in mud here. It looks brown, but it is a very beautiful gold bike. If you've seen it, you might have seen it here at Busco Beach Mud Bash, where they debuted, where they brought it out. I'm going to put in the link for the YouTube video in the comments right now. So go watch that, because it was really neat. Like, if you liked the Discovery show, the Mud Madness show, or whatever it is that they're doing, that show where they've kind of got the storylines, like, everybody who's in this community knows that, like, it's awesome that we're getting the exposure and getting more people interested in it, but it's a reality show. So a lot of it's kind of scripted, there's storylines that may or may not be 100% true. Things are exaggerated, et cetera, et cetera. But Joe and his crew put together a really cool video of this Deep Creek event. And it was like all the way from them getting ready for the event through the day, 1 hour till race time, 12 hours till race time, all the way through. It showed, how it went, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then how the outcome was. And I think it's really neat. It was just a good video to watch. So you guys go check that out. It's on YouTube already. It went live last night. But it was really neat. We got all kinds of little, things that they put in there that was pretty neat, showing how, like, we do the racing and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. He's got really good content. and he's local here to us in North Carolina. So make sure you guys are supporting him. I'm sure you know who he is. So that was pretty neat. And then what else was I going to talk about for you guys? Yeah, I mean, we're on our summer break. We're going to pick back up in about 3 months. We've got about 3 months off for the series. We did 3 events, then we've got the summer off because it is very hot. And when we do these events, as this last one, they can be quite lengthy depending on what Mother Nature gives us and what the holes are like. And as they continue to grow with participation, they turn it, we haven't gotten to the point where we're cutting anyone off or anything, but they can turn into quite lengthy events. So we're trying to not have everyone have to be out there in the dead middle of the summer. So yeah. But let me just tell you guys real quick who the winners were. All of the results for the individual events for first, second, and third stops and the series are loaded onto our website. I'm going to show you guys that real quick here. Maybe. Yep. Here we go. So if you go to our website, there's a tab at the top for Little Dirty Kids and for Bounty Hole Series. So for the kids, you can scroll down there. And if your kids have raced with us already or want to race with us, have them submit one of these little profiles right here in the middle of the screen. We'll do like these little sort of like little baseball card looking things for them to introduce them. And that's just neat, something neat that you guys can do and they can see and think is really cool and all that. But the very top box spreadsheet is going to be the overall points for the year. And then they go down event 3, event 2, event 1 results for everybody. So that has the better of their 2 runs if they elected to do 2 runs on there. And that way you can track everything. In the event of a tie on the points at the end of the season, then the tiebreaker becomes who covered the most distance in the least amount of time. So that's why the individual results are listed for all of the events rather than only the points because it looks like I fixed that spreadsheet right there, but everything on the top is correct. Just a couple on the bottom are missing some numbers. But yeah, so at each spreadsheet, it'll have a class on the bottom you can click on, and it'll show you. So that way, you guys can always see at any time where things stand with everybody. But let's show you guys who we had for our winners. So this is just a group shot of the kids. So we had, for the mini mutter class, we had Cutter Wethington in first place, followed by Lakin Wethington and Isaac Davis. That's been a really fun class. That's our 8 and under class, 125cc or less. And Cutter and Lakin are brother and sister, and they've been like going back and forth. So Cutter won first place at the first event, and then Lakin won first place at the second event. Now Cutter won first place at the third event. So I know there's a lot of trash talk in their house, but that was pretty neat, because they've been just running the little mini mutter class. Then for the single cylinder, we had Arliss Penny got first place, Dawson Penny got second place, and Trip Norden got third place. That's a little crew that came with Penny's Produce, and they donated some money, so that was pretty neat. It was all their first time racing. All them boys had the time of their life. They had the best time, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how many times they rode by our campsite. So we camped over near Joe Johnson from 336 Mud Mafia, and those kids were not coming by to see King of the Deep. Those kids were coming by doing that little hand signal thing, talking about 336. That's the gang, baby. If I had $1 for every time one of those kids rode by and said that, I could have gave out 5,000 to these kids this weekend. But they were super cute. V twin class, first place was Bentley Pepe. Second place, Jackson Stewart, and third place, not pictured in here, is Peyton Davis. Peyton has done really well. She's been at all of the little kids events, and she's done fantastic. They were not able to get back. I think they were stuck or something out on the trail. So anyway, they didn't get back in time for photos, but she did get her trophy. She did get her money and all that. So she get her waiters too. And then for the side-by-side class, the side-by-side class was also the same 3 winners that we had for the single cylinder class. Just in a different order. So we had Dawson Penny in first place. Second place was Trip Norden, and third place was Arliss Penny. And also third place for mini mutter Isaac Davis. He wasn't pictured either. That's Peyton's little brother. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, their smiles. You're right, Larry. Like it was. I mean, they were so excited. They were so excited. Yeah, Raising Mudlands is the Davis family, and it was just really cool. And and I'll say this too, like. I saw a comment today about, not to keep talking about Joe, but I do want to say, he did place. So he was out here for awards too. And every kid that wanted a photo, Joe took the time to get a photo with him. Every kid that ever came up to him the whole weekend, he took the time to to spend with these kids. And actually, one of these boys, I think it might have been Arliss or Doc. I think it was Arliss that had come up to Joe earlier, like maybe Friday or maybe Saturday morning, and asked him, "Do you think I should race Joe?" And Joe was like, "Heck yeah, buddy, you should race," and so he did. And anyway, I just thought that was really cool because I did see somebody comment like, he'll never answer back, but he's really great about that. And he's fantastic with these kids. So
I saw Arlen Saturday night. I got my $360.
Oh yeah, I know. If I could have paid him $336, but I would have had to hold more money back. But that would have been pretty neat though. So, all right. So for the small A class, I already talked about this. I showed you guys the picture of Nick Nunn and how muddy he was. That was a very, very tough, probably one of the toughest bounty holes we've done in quite a while, as far as them not making it through, nobody making it through that class. So in first place, we had Grayson Drake. He made it 207 feet and 7 inches, then followed by Gavin Spain, 205 feet and 10 inches. And then Seth Hilton was an inch behind Gavin at 205 feet and 9 inches. So that was the small tire NA class. Then in between, we knocked that hump down. We took some of that dirt out, and then we ended up with the small tire open class, which is the same 3 winners in the same exact podium places. But so same thing, Grayson, Gavin, and Seth. And I did try to get some of these guys on tonight, but just didn't really happen. I was hoping that they could tell y'all in their own words what they thought about the hole, but that just didn't work out tonight. So then we've got medium tire. They ran back through that same hole. The first place was, there's medium tire. First place was Gavin Spain, followed second place by Ethan Barnes, and then in third place, Seth Hilton. So they were able to get some pretty good passes in there. They had 6 seconds, 7 seconds, and 8 seconds. So, once we jump up on the tire size and a lot of these guys are running nitrous and things on their bikes, so they get a little bit faster. Plus, the hole was much better by then. And then finally, in your unlimited class, here we go. We had first place with Ethan Barnes with 11 seconds, and he just nailed that run. He slid through that stuff like it was nothing. Everybody else was like in peanut butter. Ethan was like in butter, like melted butter. It was amazing. Then followed second place by his brother Hunter. Took Hunter 1 minute and 9 seconds to get through the hole. And then in third place, and the only other person to finish at all the hole, was Joe Johnson. Now, Joe did pull a full pull. He did complete all 225 feet on that hole, but it took him like 3 minutes and 15 seconds to do it. So we have a 3-minute time limit. So he was recorded at 218 feet, even though he did finish the hole on his own power. He didn't have to get pulled out. He didn't get stuck and unable to get out like everybody else, but he just ran out of time. So yeah, so that was the deal with those guys. It was a really, really fun event. I know a lot of people kind of have said, they were disappointed with how maybe 24K turned out, but it was a great, I mean, there was stuff not working right on the bike, and you don't know that until you go. That's why a lot of people come to these races. They're testing the bike. They're seeing how it does, seeing what they need to tweak, seeing what they need to fix. And that was his first time racing that bike at all. And it was a nasty hole. So I'm excited to see what he does next with it now that he kind of knows where to dial in on it. And I'm sure, and in a way, it kind of makes it neat because the next video that he does is going to be even better. It's going to be like, what he tweaked and how it did then. So, it's very uncommon, I think, to see a bike built that comes right out the gate being perfect. So, anyway, we're super excited about that. So as I said, we are done with the series for the summer. We are coming back in September. And when we come back in September, we will be heading to the Rec Yard in Fayetteville, North Carolina. That's going to be September 26th through 29th. That's our next series points event. So we are having the summer off. But we do have some other events this year. Some other things that we're doing over the summer. We've got a couple at Busco in July and August, and our very next event is going to be at the Rec Yard as well. It's just going to be here in June. It's going to be June 20th through 23rd at the Rec Yard for Trucks Gone Wild. So this is a really super, super fun event. We did it last year. It was a lot of fun. If you guys remember seeing us go live where people were flying in on helicopters to race on the bounty hole, that was all at the Rec Yard. We had the booty barn and the water slide, and it was just a lot of fun. So we're doing that again this year, but it's going to be even bigger, even wilder, even more trucks. And it's just, we're looking forward to having a really good time with that. So let me tell you guys a little bit about this event. I guess I don't know if Chris is coming on or not, but I can try to tell you guys everything I can tell you. So here we go. Let's put the flyer up for this one. Okay. So June 20th through 23rd, Trucks Gone Wild. The link for the tickets, I'm going to put that right here in the comments as well so that you guys can find that. Here we go. Tickets. All right. Oh, that might have done twice. Either way, whatever. Okay. So Trucks Gone Wild's coming. We're going to have, this is an ATV side-by-side and truck-friendly event. It's for everybody. They're going to do the Try Truck Challenge. So basically, and a Try Side-by-Side Challenge, which is going to be new this year. So it's like a team of 3. So if you guys have trucks, you can bring your trucks, of course, and run up the trucks. Most of our crowd probably has ATVs and side-by-sides. This is the side-by-side friendly challenge, this Try Side-by-Side event. So basically, you get a team with you and 2 of your buddies, 3 different side-by-sides, and you're going to have, it's going to be like sort of like a relay thing where you work as a team. And I don't know, they may have said that the amounts that they were paying out last night. I know that there's going to be like a flat amount, and then I think the buy-in's going to go on top of that or something like that. But Trucks Gone Wild is handling that part of the competition. So I'm sure that they'll give you more details, and we can get some more stuff and let you guys know as we get a little bit closer to it. I believe we're going to be live on Trucks Gone Wild's live maybe next week. And so we just kind of just trying to get those 2 worlds combined, because we know there are a lot of people that have megas that also, or trucks that also ride in side-by-sides. And, we're all one big
places around here to do it.
One big mud family. Yeah. And there's not a lot of places that allow both around here. I know Fast Tracks does certain times. The Rec Yard does. When we go back in September, they'll be allowing trucks then. So when the Rec Yard does their event in June and when they do their September event, they both allow for there to be, trucks and like Jeeps and stuff like that. And also the side-by-sides and the ATVs. So we are going to have the beater car challenge also. And that's another thing that doesn't really get to be done a lot around here that I've seen other than at Fast Tracks. So, and then we're going to have the side-by-side and the ATV bounty hole competition, which is going to pay out $2,500. So we did that last year. I believe Mr. Freddie Rick won it last year on what machine was it? The Grinch?
No, that was Bodacious.
Bodacious? Okay.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. He did win on the Grinch.
I think he won it on the Grinch last year.
That's right.
So that was pretty neat. And then I think Mike LaFleur came in second. Those guys came in because their machine happened to be kind of over this way. So yeah, I mean, that was a really cool thing to see. We're using those same holes. I'm sure that they need a little bit of just updating from the last time that we used them last September. But that is what we call the money hole. So it's sort of like a S shape, and then it has a stream that runs through the middle of it. So it looks like a dollar sign, or a couple of dollar signs stacked. It is a very curvy one. So make sure you can turn and go other way other than in a straight line. But it is a curvy hole, and it's a lot of fun. When we went in September for our event, I think David Peraza did really well on that hole back then. So he's been on fire since then too. He's done really good. I think he got 4th place in one of the events this weekend. So, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do that. We'll get you guys the exact schedule of everything, but I think our event, the side-by-side and ATV bounty hole, is going to be around 3 or 4 on Saturday. We'll just kind of see how it all pieces together. But there's going to be trail riding, mud bogging, truck tug of wars, the booty barn party, the camping's included. There's going to be vendors, all that kind of stuff. I did want to let you guys know from the park itself that they've done some work on the trails. They also have some power spots now, and the power spots are going to go to the people that have already prepaid and got their tickets early, basically, is going to how it's going to be offered. And then anything that's left over as far as power spots is going to be first come, first serve. So I would reach out to the Rec Yard directly about that. And I think that they're working on the reservation software or website or whatever for the camping spots. I don't think it's been released yet, but I will give you guys an update just as soon as I know about that. The ticket link is the fairharbor.com link that I just posted in the comments here. And so right now, from Thursday through Sunday, no matter how many machines you have, and including your camping, I think it's $70 if you get it now through June 7th. So you need to, if you're planning to go, all of our racers, go ahead and buy your tickets before next Friday, because that's the 7th. And I think the price goes up a little bit after that. That is the same hole we're going to use for the series. So like I said last year, it's good to come and race it. You have a chance to win. You've got a good chance to win money. And then also it gives you a practice run on that hole before you come back in September to race it for points. So trails have been worked on. Power spots are going to be available. They're going to have food vendors out there. They're going to have the shower house out there again, like they did before with the bands. You can buy a band for the shower house, and then you get like unlimited showers and everything, which is totally worth it. And 100%, it's a way to keep people a little bit more accountable with taking care of it. And
it is kid friendly, except for Saturday night at the Booty Barn.
Yep.
It's the only thing that will not be kid friendly.
So this is a kid friendly event with the exception of Saturday night at the Booty Barn. So there's a pond with a water slide and a little fountain in it. Kids can go down that and enjoy that and have a good time. There's also, they did confirm that we're going to have the bounce house out there again. And another thing that they're going to do is when you come in and buy your tickets for this event, this property is also used as a paintball facility for the rest of the time of the year. And so they're giving you free paintball rentals and paintball, like your fee to do the paintball. You just have to buy the paintballs. So if you go that weekend and, you want to take your buddy, hey, Dwayne, you want to take your buddy over, or your kids or whoever over to do paintball, like to play paintball, then you can do that. And all you have to pay for is the balls. You don't have to pay for the rental fee for the machines or the actual fee to do it. The admission fee, you get to go, and that's included with your ticket to the event. So that's pretty neat. Like you get to go do something different like that. So free paintball other than the balls. And then also this park, another big thing that they do at this park in the fall is that they have this really, really awesome haunted house. And so they're going to open that haunted house up. I know it's the summertime, but it's still scary. It's scary no matter what time of the year it is. And it's fun. So the haunted house is going to be opened up again for a limited time just for this weekend, just a special thing. And I think it's like $15 to go in the haunted house. I think I saw that on one of the flyers. So it'll be there if you guys want to do that. Just some extra stuff to kind of do.
So much stuff to do.
Yeah. I mean, literally, we're talking about you guys are going to do tug of wars, the mud bogging. We're going to have the tri chuck challenge. We're going to have the tri side by side challenge. We're going to have a beater car challenge. We're going to have the ATV and side by side bounty hole competition. There's going to be a water slide in the pond. There's going to be a bounce house. You can do free paintball. You can go to the haunted house. There's going to be food and vendors. There's going to be showers out there. They now have power spots. They've been working on the camping trails. And then for the non-kid friendly part let me take this off, on Saturday night at the Booty Barn, if you know, but we're going to have the foam party alongside the wet t-shirt contest. So I don't recommend bringing your kids out there to the Booty Barn for after about 9 o'clock on Saturday night. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be, just like when we did it before, I think we did it at SummerSlam last year for the King of the Deep event. The wet t-shirt contest will have a prize, a cash prize. And we also have a trophy for that as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do the phone party. We'll have music playing. It's going to be a really good time. If you haven't seen the Booty Barn, I'll get some pictures up before the next live to show you guys, but it's like a long barn that you drive through, and it's got lights up on the top. And when you play your music in there, it sounds amazing and super loud, and it's really a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. I think we're going to go on the live with Trucks Gone Wild next week. And then we will do another live the next couple of weeks with all the updates that we can bring you before the event here at the end of June. I think we're about 3 weeks away now. And it's going to be, 3 weeks from tonight, we will be there. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. And we're super excited. It's going to be a good time for trucks, sides, and ATVs and everybody.
What's the kids cut off for getting in free? Do you know?
Let me see.
So kids under what age?
Kids under 12 are free.
Kids under 12, that's a great cutoff age.
Yeah. And so kids under 12 are free. $70 is the weekend pass. Doesn't matter how many you can bring. You can bring 3 trucks, 4 side-by-sides, a dirt bike, a golf cart, 2 ATVs, your wife and your 4 children under 12 years old, and you're still only going to pay $140. And that includes your camping and, all that. So that's really good. A lot of parks charge per person per day, per camping per day. Even if you're primitive camping, and like per machine per day, et cetera, et cetera. So this is just a flat rate. All the Trucks Gone Wild guys are going to be there. It's going to be a great time. We had a lot of fun last year, and then this one's going to be a blast too. So we will give you guys all of the updates. Dwayne said, what's the dates for SummerSlam? SummerSlam is going to be on September 26th through 29th. That's our next King of the Deep series points race. So that'll be September 26th through 29th. Now, the event I'm talking about for Trucks Gone Wild is June 20th through 23rd. So that's when we'll be there with Trucks Gone Wild. And speaking of trucks, this weekend coming up, we may or may not. I think we're waiting to see how things pan out. But I did want to let you guys just know about a really cool free event here locally, sort of locally to North Carolina. It's actually in South Carolina. It's about 2 hours from here, from Eastern North Carolina. Fast Tracks Mud Bog is doing like a awesome free weekend customer appreciation thing this coming weekend, tomorrow. Free admission, free riding. If you're a vendor and you want to get out there and sell some stuff, they're not charging any vendor fees. It's like literally free. The only thing that costs anything is if you want to enter any of the competitions. And it says there is a fee to enter the competitions, but there is 100% payback on those. They're having a swap meet, ATVs, UTVs, mega truck parts, anything part related, free to set up. Open riding all weekend. Food vendors are going to be on site. I mean, it's and if you've been to that park, like that's a really super family friendly park. Just be careful because they do allow big trucks. So you want to try to have like a flag or something on your machine, especially if you're on like a smaller thing and kids and stuff like that. But it's a really fun event. They've got truck races, bog, DOT small tire, DOT big tire, unlimited, obstacle course, same thing, DOT small, DOT big, 1 ton V-tread, mega, bog mega. So it's going to be a super fun event. We're trying to get out there ourselves. So, you know, if you're looking for something fun and free to do, then, oh, thanks, Dwayne. I'll get with them and we'll make sure we're right. That's what I had. So we need to make sure we're right on those dates for sure. But yeah, if you guys are looking for something fun and free to do this weekend, definitely go check out Fast Tracks. I know a lot of people have said, you know, well, you guys don't have that left side anymore. Or, you know, blah, 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 or do you have the water slide, blah, 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 blah. Let me just tell you guys like this. You just got to go. You got to ride where you want to and slide where you want to until somebody tells you not to. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, yeah. So you guys go out and support them. Leroy helps us at the Rec Yard. He helps Nate and Eric a lot. You know, when we do these different kinds of events with Trucks Gone Wild, I'm sure if he can't, if, you know, God willing, if he could be there to help us, he will. He knows a lot of awesome stuff about that side of things. So I would love, Leroy and Blake, I'd love to have them out. And I'm sure that they'll be stopping by, you know, to support the Rec Yard. There's not, like I said earlier, there's not a lot of parks that offer that for like the truck side of things and the side-by-side things together. So these are 2 parks that do. So we're excited. So if you guys are looking for something to do this weekend that's free, head out there to Fast Tracks. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic time. So other than that, that's all I got for you guys tonight. You got anything, Steve? Yeah. Like and share. If you're not following us on everything, I don't know what you're doing with your life. We're on Snapchat. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
It means a lot. Thank you.
So, and you guys liking us, sharing our stuff, supporting it, it definitely helps us. You know, supporting our sponsors. Let me pop them back up real quick. You know, if you're looking for something from somebody, check one of our sponsors. If you're looking for a park to go to, visit one of the parks that work with us because, you know, it's a community. We want to keep supporting everybody that supports us and, you know, makes it better for everybody. So if you're looking for anything, check out one of these guys. Use Power Sports LLC. I did a post about them. They're in Reedsville, North Carolina. Just north, I think, of Greensboro area. They just joined our team like literally last week. But they've got a really cool website. It's got all their inventory. They've got everything from a golf cart and like those like power e-bike things up to dirt bikes and ATVs and side-by-sides and everything. So you guys check them out if you're looking for anything. They also do aftermarket like upgrades and stuff and services and things like that as well. So David and everybody over there at Use Power Sports is fantastic. I did want to make sure I said something extra about them because they've just joined our team and we are excited to have them. We got to meet them this last weekend. They're really cool guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a fantastic night, a good week. Let us know if you need anything. And if you've got any questions, shoot us a message. And otherwise we will talk to you guys next week. Thank you.